Okay. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Um. Okay. Everyone here? Can anyone hear me? Can y'all hear me? It's showing my stuff is bouncing. I'll let people get in. So delicious, the last course. Oh, the delicious, the last course. Oh, the delicious, the last course. Chef's old baker has a plan. There's some drinker in the land. Hey, people here? Wait, can people hear me? Hey. So, since I guess it didn't work at all, I'm actually now really nervous if it's actually gonna work. At all? I'm actually now really... Yeah, okay, it's working. Perfect. I hope everyone's back. I'm so sorry about that. My mouse just stopped working, and I guess my speaker decided, hey, I'm not gonna... Like, I'm gonna show that I'm working, but I'm not gonna work. Okay, so... My thoughts on Cuphead. Hear you now. Good. Actually, I'm gonna do something else. Alright, there we go. So I'm literally just gonna kind of scroll through. So my thoughts on this game. I'm gonna do something different. And I'll do it. So my thoughts on this game. I'm actually gonna speed it up massively. Okay, that doesn't feel right. Alright, so my thoughts on Cuphead. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And like, I mean, there was a few things I was really upset about. Mainly it being the fact that it just wouldn't. When I parried it, I like there were a few times where it parried, but it wouldn't like it would hit me, or I would parry. Or sorry, there were times where I would parry and I'd be fine. There were other times where I got hit, but still marked it as a parry, and there was a few times where it just, like, wouldn't count at all, which was really quite frustrating, which should be fixed. So, like, if you get hit, you shouldn't be able to parry it. It should be marked as a fear or change colors or something like that. Like, it just shouldn't let you. While, like, at the same time, if you hit the parry, then don't mark it as, hey, you got hit, or that kind of thing, which is really a frustrating thing just in general. And stuff like that, it was just really, really frustrating. But I mean, like, that's stuff that just needs to be fleshed out. Like, that's not fair to your players at all if you do that. The music, I thought, was fantastic. The music for the DLC is just, I loved it. It was, like, as good as the main game's music. I'm just kind of scrolling through. It's, like, kind of in a relatively timed manner. Like, I listen to this music at, like, in the car, or, like, at times at home and stuff like that. It's great. I don't want to always do, like, the beginning. And that's, like, they carried it over to, like, the love and the care with how they handled the DLC, which I was actually kind of scared they wouldn't keep that, but not enough that it would be like, oh no, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It was a DLC I've been looking at for a while, because, I mean, I got Cuphead, but I never, like, dedicated myself to that hard of a task. And it ended up being really well worth it. I don't know why that music isn't working at all. But it was just really good. I really enjoyed it. The base game was fantastic. It's probably a game that I'll play again. It's not necessarily one that I'll completion, which I think would be a lot of fun, but it would be really quite difficult. Or even, like, expert mode would be difficult, but that'd be a lot of fun. But let's see. Music. Yeah. So, another issue I have with this game is sometimes it wouldn't register what I was doing. So, like, there were some times where, like, I'd parry, but it would count my parry, but it wouldn't, like, the second time it wouldn't count it at all. Which was really frustrating and just not fair to the player at all. Like, if you always, like, have your controls good so that they count for something, instead of, like, I was actually afraid sometimes where it's like, oh, it won't count this, or anything like that. There were a few times where I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna give me, like, oh, like, here, we're gonna just not count this for a second, or we're just not gonna do this, or that kind of thing, which was really hard on, really, like, every time I do something, it should count. Or, like, there should be limitations of, like, how much it'll count, like, that kind of thing. I'll just let it keep starting again. Because if I'm correct, I know the next one. Okay, I don't care about your results. Yeah. Favorite boss has to be Sally Stageplay. She's definitely a big one that I really enjoyed. As well as you'll see some of the stuff that they updated in the game in general, which this is one of them. But, oh my gosh. Huh. Sorry, it's some of the new stuff I haven't noticed at all that they changed. Let's see. I won't be doing, like, any of the challenges. I know that they updated more. Oh, I'm going back. Okay. Gonna skip through. Okay, I do want to get to the DLC stuff. Let's see. Anything else I have to add about Cuphead? Any other games that these guys play, I will play. Like, I love the, like, hand-drawn style. It's gorgeous. Like, they didn't use any of, like, not, like, artificial, but, like, they didn't have something to, like, do movement. It was, as far as I know, it was all hand-drawn, which to me screams more than normal animation and normal just pieces in general, because there's so much more respect, there's so much more artistic side to it entirely, because there's that extra side of flair that you aren't expecting from the boss or the industry at all. Like, you would think that that has been kind of just left, but they proved that it's not over still. It's still just a kind of thing where it's like, hey, it's a thing that we're doing. So seeing this brought back, I hope it inspires people to be like, hey, I'm gonna, like, do more hand-drawn 1930s or just more hand-drawn art in general, because it looks good. I think it looks a lot better. I think a lot of other people would agree it looks better. There's that extra flair that, like, no one's expecting or anything, which is absolutely amazing that they actually, like, did that style of thing. Let's see. The boss designs, I think, fit really well, because I'm trying to cover everything while I'm, like, kind of showcasing every single boss to an extent. The boss designs I thought were really good. The way that they, in this fight specifically, the way that the final part, how she turned the screen, I thought that was really well done. I thought it looked really good. It gave you an extra little challenge that was unexpected. But definitely gave you something to really enjoy, and give that extra little bit of challenge that the game didn't necessarily have. Trying to think of other stuff to say to you guys about this while I'm going through, because I'm trying to hit every single boss. Oh, I love this one. It makes me wonder if they're gonna add more to the DLC. I highly, highly doubt it. Especially since it's marked as the delicious last course. So, like, the final part of the game makes sense most to me, of, like, naming it the delicious last course, because it's the very last, it's the very last that this game is gonna get. Which, yes, in and of itself is very upsetting, and I wish this game just would keep adding DLCs. I really wouldn't care if it looks like it's milking it, but it would be, like, I would play every ounce of it. I'd eat it up. Because this game's just so well made. The people that dedicate themselves to this are really, really good people. Really, like, you can understand that they have a true craft for what they do. This is all the parry bosses. Okay, so here's that. Here we go. We'll end on Saltbaker himself. And then what I was saying before, actually, that pertains to Saltbaker. I actually didn't find him as hard as the devil, to be completely honest. I mean, I beat him in one whole stream, and I don't know if that's just because I got good all of a sudden. But he didn't seem as difficult. There was much more on screen, but I mean, having more things doesn't always make it like, oh, it's worse or oh, it's harder. It just kind of makes it, there's more. It's hard to explain like my thoughts on this because I was talking with some other people of like a few streams ago with that one character, the like cow lady. I don't know her name. Um, because people were saying like, oh, do you find the like second phase harder or the third phase harder? And I'm like, no, it's not harder. It's just more chaotic. Like there's more on screen, but it doesn't mean that it's directed at you necessarily. Like some things are just there. Like they're not necessarily directed at you. Um, let's see. I loved the style that they chose. Like I thought the general style of 1930s was absolutely fan-frickin-tastic. Um, and it's very, very original. Like, name a game that's set in, like, a modern time, but it's, like, a 1930s style. Which this game specifically is 1930s. Um, but, I mean, that's really all I have to say about this. I'll let the fight finish. But I loved this game. Like, it was so much fun. It's definitely one I will play this definitely in my free time. Probably not, like, go and play it right now, but, like, it's something that I'll just... We're gonna go back to the very first one. Give it back to its homage. But it's definitely one that I can definitely see myself, oh, I'm just gonna download it and play Cuphead again. Which I greatly do appreciate. I love the fact that it's a game that there is a lot of replayability. It's just like, hey, get better, feel better about your, like, moves and, like, do all this stuff. It works great for the style of game. I love these, like, boss rush modes. Hollow Knight with the Pantheon did it. I still can't get to the Pantheon at all, which I do see Cuphead easier than Hollow Knight with its bosses. Like, it may seem like it's harder, but there is a nuance to it that is a lot easier. But definitely, like, the way that they did their boss rush reminded me of the Pantheon in Hollow Knight, which I still am working on my own save. Okay, so to wrap it up, I know I've been chatting for a while. To wrap it up, I love this game. If you, like, even if you don't plan on playing it yourself, I always tell people, like, buy the soundtrack or buy the actual game when it's on sale or something. Even if you don't plan on playing it, because, gotta show the respect to the people that made it. Well, not like respect, sorry, that came out wrong. Support them however which way you possibly can. And that just makes it really, really a lot of fun, and it gives a lot of heart to it. And supports them in what they're doing next. I mean, that's why I bought Hollow Knight 3 times for myself. I want to support them, especially when helping them make Silksong. And same with these guys. If I hear these guys make another game, I will definitely play it. I will drop everything and be like, yep, I'm playing this now. Because Cuphead itself was such a staple to, like, the gaming genre, I would say. Because it has a very, very, very standing out style. The music is so handcrafted. The artwork is also very handcrafted. Everything about it has so much inspiration from, like, bringing an older generation back, which is truly something that a lot of people need sometimes. Just a reminder of our past and where, in this case, animation has come from. But in the form of a game instead of a movie. But I've rambled on enough. We are gonna go raid someone. Yeah, let's go raid Kaji. So, if you guys do plan on playing it, I'd love to hear how much fun you guys have. If you don't, no worries. But other than that, those are my thoughts on Cuphead and the DLC. I would highly recommend anyone to play it. It is a fantastic game. They really did some remarkable things with the whole game in general, and I hope to see their company just boom. I'd love to see that, because this game was just so good. Really difficult, but it didn't feel impossible, which I really, really, truly did appreciate. Um, but either way, I will see you guys next time. We are doing Simulacra. If you want a good game to just put on in the background, but one that like definitely will give you some good scares. Simulacra is a lot of fun. We'll be playing that next Wednesday, as well as Splatoon 3 is coming out on Friday, so I will be playing that. I've been looking forward to it since I actually found out about Splatoon. And just everything in general. Like, I can't wait for the game. Like, I am so excited. And stuff like that. But anyway, I've talked a lot. And I don't want to take up you guys' time anymore. So, well, much time anymore. You guys know what I mean. We are gonna go and raid Kaji, good friend of mine. We need to convince him to play Cuphead. However, he's refusing to because he finds it too difficult, which I totally understand. But at the same time, it's like, gotta really play it. But either way, let's go give him as much love as we give this community here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and stopping by.